Welcome to Music She Missed, the podcast where I try to get my best friend caught up on some of the most popular songs and artists that impact our lives. I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Rachel and I missed all the music.
Hey, Rachel, welcome to our special Season 2 bonus episode.
Bonus episode. Yay, for fun.
It is fun. And the purpose of this episode is to take everything that you learned in Season 2 and talk about it, synthesize it, and just see what are your feelings about all the music that you've been learning.
Well, I definitely think Season 1 and Season 2 are definitely different.
Okay.
Now that I've gone through them all. But I really enjoyed Season 2 for many, many reasons.
Which we will talk about in a minute, but we want to start by reminding our audience that they can check out your special playlist of all of your favorite songs on Spotify by searching for Spotify /user Music She Missed. And I also have a list of favorites as well.
For your Season 2?
Yes, my Season 2 favorites.
Do you want to check out mine?
Sure.
Okay.
It has a lot of songs in it.
I know. I'm super excited. Just I know we kind of had a rule of 1 hour of music.
We don't kind of have a rule.
Okay, it was a rule, and I just totally broke the rule.
So you have like an hour and a half worth of music on here.
Well, I have a half more hour of love extra for Season 2.
So you really, really like Season 2.
I did.
Well, why don't we talk about some of the songs that you put on here? I see a lot of Billy Joel, a lot of Beach Boys.
I did like Billy Joel. We Didn't Start the Fire. Oh, I think that was my number one favorite out of all the season. And I liked just his perspective of history and things like that. And so the lyrics just speak.
Okay. So with Billy
Billy
Joel.
Joel.
But were there any other artists that you enjoyed?
The Beatles. And I know you were smiling really big on this one.
Well, you know, songwriting masters.
Yes. So they are just a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And they're just really speaking to that kind of time period of where we've got Vietnam going on. We've just got a lot of stuff going on in history where they're just wanting to enjoy music and enjoy kind of breaking out from that kind of bluegrass kind of feel.
Breaking out from that bluegrass kind of feel?
Yeah.
What, what bluegrass kind of feel?
Those that have like the acoustic guitars and just sometimes, I don't want to say boring, because that's just my opinion, but some of the boring music where they're, plugging in and twisting and shouting and just having fun.
Rachel, I think, we're not talking about bluegrass. I think you're talking about folk music.
Yeah, with banjos and crap, right? I mean, yeah, is that it?
Like more like acoustic guitars.
Yeah, the boring kind of stuff. Well, that's my opinion.
Well, since we haven't really done a lot of folk yet, I would reserve your judgment for later.
Well, that's a good point. But I'm just saying the Beatles kind of get into that twist and the shout, and it's just fun music.
And I'm so glad you think the Beatles are fun. But remember that the Beatles are drawing their influence from 50s American music, blues musicians, early rock and roll, Elvis, Chuck Berry, things like that, which we haven't really
I know who
covered
Elvis
yet.
is, but I don't know who Chuck Berry is.
I really am curious, though, if there's any other lyrics that you want to talk about. Because you say you love the lyrics.
I do love the lyrics, and I think I was in a fun moment when I was creating my playlist. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to find some of the fun music that I listened to in Season 2 that I just really enjoyed, from Surfing USA to Help Me Rhonda. So I have a little story about that one. Okay. My husband is really a helpful kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Ever since us doing Season 2, like, he and I are just talking about something and I need help. And I'm like, instead of help me in his name, I say, help me Rhonda. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Aw, you have a sweet little in-joke now.
Yeah, now because of Season 2.
Okay, so we have our two playlists. Uh-huh. Let's compare. Do we have any of the same songs?
Okay. So I have a bunch of Billy Joel. Do you have Billy Joel?
Yeah, I just have one.
Really?
The Longest Time.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah,
but it didn't make it my list. We Didn't Start the Fire? You didn't put that one on there?
No. Hey, I actually followed the rule of keeping it within an hour. And so not every song...
Hey, I could have done like 2 or 3 hours. Well, I did an hour and a half.
So let's talk about that, because you went over and you must have really liked enough of it to go over so much. So can you maybe explain to me why in general, you felt the need to put so many songs?
Some of the songs that I knew for sure that were going to be on there.
Okay.
But then there were some that I was like recalling back and through season 2 where I just couldn't move past season 3 without going back and saying, you know what, that one really made a difference to me. Like Intergalactic.
Oh,
I thought that was
that one's on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yay! We have that one together. Like Intergalactic. It was just maybe because I heard it while we were roller skating as a family, and just
you created a memory.
Yeah, the memory part of it, but also it was just a fun song too. And I think it was just like robotic, and so there's movement to it, and it's just a fun song.
It is a fun song. Another, do we have any others that are the same? We must in the David Bowie realm.
What about the Beatles? You love the Beatles. I'm
do.
surprised your whole hour's not the Beatles.
But, once again,
you played by the rules and I
yes.
didn't.
So I have 4 Beatles songs on here, and you have a few, but they are not
Twist and Shout, Can't Buy Me Love, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and Hey Jude.
And Here
Comes the Sun. Oh, that's a fun song.
That is a nice one.
I like that one as my new alarm wake-up music. It's fun.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we did not overlap there. I think I prefer... Well, honestly, my favorite Beatles songs didn't even end up on the list, just because I'm trying to get you to get the most famous ones. Yeah. But
I did put one Madonna song on my list. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
That's not really a Madonna song, though.
It shows her voice in a very beautiful way, where she is truly an artist, where the other one, I just didn't like the lyrics of her other music. So.
All right. Well, the only other song that it looks like that we shared is Fame by David Bowie.
Fame, yes, David Bowie. With your brother, right?
Mm-hmm. So... and obviously I put Radiohead, and
I
did not.
No.
That's
sorry.
the only person
so.
that didn't make your list.
Sorry, Father Photius.
I think he'll forgive you.
Bless me, Father, I have sinned.
It's not a sin not to like Radiohead. But so as you were putting together your list, what trends or commonalities did you see amongst all the songs that spoke to you?
From season 1 to season 2 is kind of creeping into it. Get it? Creeping?
I get
it. Is the lyrics. One big thing that has kind of like drawn me into season 2.
Okay.
Like it's
the lyrics of the artist.
Are a big deal for me.
Okay.
And then also control of your instrument. May it be your voice, may it be the piano or the guitar. I like the acoustic guitar opposed to the wailing of like Ozzy.
Okay.
And like I did put one Ozzy song on there.
Right.
And that was merely because, well, it's Crazy Train. And so
it's a fun song.
It is a fun song. And as a mom who has little ones biting at the ankles, sometimes I feel like I'm on the Crazy Train, and of all people in this world to find that he has spoken to me is Ozzy Osbourne. So I'm like, I had to play tribute to him.
Okay.
And put him on my list. So like when I had, Intergalactic or Crazy Train or something like that where, I know I loved Billy Joel, but I couldn't like move past season 2 without mentioning some of those things, then that's why I had that extra half hour.
That because you wanted to put like one song from every artist to kind of almost every artist.
Almost.
To kind of show that you did appreciate, you were drawing out like chunks and nuggets.
I couldn't go past Ozzy Osbourne without saying, you know what, he spoke to me, and weirdly he did.
That's nice. I think that's nice that you, even an artist that you would otherwise not like, you found something to like.
And I tried to like Radiohead, but I just I even listened to it again before I finished my playlist of favorites, and I just couldn't.
So would you lower your Radiohead rating, or would you change any of your ratings at this point?
I would change some of my season 1.
Well,
and that's merely because I was ignorant back then, and I'm starting to become like smarter as I'm learning more music.
Okay.
And I'm learning what I like, what I don't like. I don't like being screamed at.
You don't like being screamed at?
But I like being drawn into the music and enjoying the fun with them. Like, for example, the Beatles, Twist and Shout. Like, I feel like the Beatles were drawing me in with their lyrics and also drawing me in with their instruments and music.
The energy.
Where I was just excited. I wanted to twist and shout with it.
Looking at your playlist, it looks like most of the songs that you chose are very upbeat. There's just a couple. I mean, there's a few Billy Joel ballads here, and Here Comes the Sun.
But his voice is just so beautiful, and his piano is so beautiful, too.
Caroline No was kind of an interesting choice. That's a little bit less known.
That's from the Pet Sounds. So I'm familiar with the Beach Boys.
With their hits.
But I wasn't familiar with the Pet Sounds.
Okay.
Until you introduced me through that week. And I really liked the Pet Sounds, and where they had just some really artistic moments with the instruments, where it's just, I couldn't move past this season without, saying I liked them. So I'm looking at your list here, but I don't see Diana Ross and the Supremes.
So
What's up with that?
I did put one Supreme song, which is You Can't Hurry Love.
Oh,
but
I like that song.
I mean, it's a fun one. I'm just not that into it.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's because the Supremes hits, because I grew up listening to oldies, and I've heard them so many times that I'm like bored with them. So maybe if I was making an 1.5 hour long playlist, there would be more of them on there, but they're just...
You've heard them already.
I've heard them loads of times, and to me they're not that interesting. Like, they're well executed pop songs.
Yeah, but it's like, it's fun music to listen to, like behind the scenes. It's why you're doing stuff around the house.
But it's the same reason why I didn't put any pop Beach Boys on there either. Surfin' USA and all that kind of stuff that you really like. To me, it just gets a little bit boring. And I'd rather listen, because, for example, with Radiohead, Paranoid Android, I've listened to that song hundreds of times, and I never get bored with it. But I get bored with the Beach Boys in with the exception of Pet Sounds, in 5 seconds. So.
And I think I like it is because it still creates that background music for me as I'm getting stuff done, which I'm used to listening to silence. Like before Music She Missed, I don't listen to music in the car. I don't listen to music while doing stuff around the house, where Diana Ross, the Beach Boys, those kind of artists really allow me to enter into that new stage of my music relationship.
Well, both of those artists would be great for what you're talking about, which is background fun music. But for me, if you're asking me to make a list of favorites, I want a little bit more nuance or depth.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I also have Billy Joel The Longest Time on here, so I'm not trying to be a snob. It's just not my preference.
Yeah, I'm still surprised you didn't put We Didn't Start the Fire.
I only had an hour. So Rachel, you're talking about how listening to music and doing this podcast with me has made you start to change the way you live your life, your daily habits. You're bringing music into your routine. Is there anything that you want to add about that?
So I know you're excited to hear that from me.
Yes.
But I want to kind of sort of pop that bubble a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Are you quitting the show?
No. No.
I'm just kidding. I know you're not.
But I still listen to silence in the car.
Okay.
And I still listen to silence as I'm doing stuff around the house. But after an hour or two of silence, I then think, oh, wait, I've learned some things from season 1 and season 2. Maybe I should listen to music, where before I would never think about that option whatsoever.
Okay. Where
it takes a couple hours for me to start remembering that option. Or if I'm in a store or in a restaurant, I would never listen to the music. I would go into the restaurant not thinking there was any music, where I remember it was last week, and I sat there and I recognized I think it was a David Bowie song.
Oh, fun.
And it was just oh, wait a second, I've learned about this. Oh, I do recognize that song, where before I wouldn't even hear it. It would just be off in La La Land.
So music is kind of moving for you from background noise to maybe background soundtrack.
I would say silence to background noise.
Okay.
So that's where a little bit of the burst of the bubble
But
is.
I mean, even out in the world where you don't have control over whether or not it's silent, now you're paying more attention.
Exactly.
Do you have any things that you felt like you achieved this season, or do you have any goals for future seasons as we continue this journey of you learning more about popular music?
I think for me, once I start getting onto that trend of starting to recognize, oh, that was, that was the Beastie Boys, oh, that was Madonna, then the next song comes on, the restaurant or the restaurant
Party,
or
whatever.
the party or the shopping or whatever, and I don't know that song.
Okay.
I have no clue. I'm like, what is this? What am I listening to? Is this good? And then I talk to the person to my left or right. Is this good music? They're like, well, why don't you tell me? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
and so that's what I want to learn in the future seasons. I want to find out, do I really think it's good music, or do I like it because it's on the stereo system?
So I would agree with the fictitious person that you just asked. If it's good, that is 100% up to you. Mm-hmm. I hope I'm not telling you what is good.
I'm learning about myself.
Okay, so you don't need to ask me or our co-hosts or random person shopping if it's good music. You decide for yourself. Now maybe, you don't know enough about why it's important. Mm-hmm. But something can be important and you can still not like it.
Yeah.
And something can be fluffy and superficial and you can like it. That's totally fine. And so
I think I want to find out if I like it for me or if I like it because society tells me to like it.
Well, I think that just takes time.
It does. And that's why I want to go into season 3 and 4 and 5.
Well, we do have a great lineup for season 3.
I'm excited.
And based on what you've liked so far, I think you're going to find that you will like some more things. Cool. And we're going to go into some new genres.
New genres? There's more than what we were learning?
Yes.
Well, I think we're hitting on,
We've hit on some fair amount of things, but we have a few more.
Are we going to do like stuff that's going to yell at me again?
I don't know. Well, I do, but.
Oh. Are we going to have like guests? Because I like when we had guests.
Yeah, we'll have more guests.
Cool. I'm excited for season 3. It'll be fun.
Well, Rachel, thank you for sharing with me all of the songs that you loved. And even though I'm annoyed that you didn't follow the rules, I'm happy that you found a good hour and a half's worth of music that brings you joy.
It does. And I had fun picking out my favorites.
Before we go, I want to do a quick lightning round.
Lightning round.
I'm going to tell you the name of 2 artists, and you have to tell me.
From season 2?
From both seasons.
Oh.
And you have to tell me which one you prefer. Ready?
Okay. I like this.
This is lightning round.
No
hesitation.
No hesitation.
Here we go. Adele or Billy Joel?
Oh, that's mean.
No hesitation.
Billy Joel.
Wow, okay. Stevie Wonder or Diana Ross?
Stevie Wonder.
There was no hesitation there. All right. Radiohead or Nirvana?
Oh, gosh. What I like better? I guess Radiohead. But Nirvana, no, don't like Nirvana at all. Okay.
Yeah. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, that has not changed.
Rachel, I'm really glad that you had fun in season 2. I look forward to season 3 and teaching you more about the wonderful and important music that's changed our lives.
Yeah. And I'm really honestly shocked of how much I have missed. Like, the more we learn, the more I realize I need you.
That's why we got to keep going.
We do.
Well, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.
We'll see you in season 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Da 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 da.